Hello students. So we will move on to the another topic under surface chemistry, that is colloids. Now what is this colloids? So it's nothing but it's a heterogeneous system. Hetero means two different. Okay. So it is a heterogeneous system in which one substance is dispersed as very fine particle in the another substance. So fine particle which are dispersed is called as dispersed phase, and the medium in which colloidal particles are dispersed is called as dispersion medium. For example, starch represent the dispersed phase in a starch solution, while the water content is referred as a dispersing medium. So starch all of you are familiar with, right? So what we call as ganji. So in that, starch is a dispersed phase and water is a dispersing medium. In smoke, air is a dispersion medium and carbon particles are the dispersed phase. So the fine particles which are dispersed is called as dispersed phase, and the medium in which they are present is called as dispersion medium. So classification of colloids. So based on the physical state of dispersed phase and the dispersion medium, they are classified into many types. That is, we see what is the type of the colloidal example. For example, solid and solid. If both dispersed phase and the dispersion medium, if both are solid, then that type of colloid is called as solid sol. And for this examples are colored glass, gems, ruby glass. All these are example for the solid sol. Second one is solid and liquid. So dispersed phase will be solid and dispersion medium will be liquid. So such colloidal system is called as sol, S-O-L, and example is paint or ink or starch. So starch particle, that is nothing but solid, they'll be dispersed in the water. So solid liquid dispersion. So these are the example. Then solid and gas. So dispersed phase is solid, dispersion medium is gas, and they are called as solid aerosol, and the example is smoke, dust in air, all these. So here in smoke, air is a dispersion medium and carbon particle is a dispersed phase. Even dust in air, so dust is a particle, solid particle, air is a gas. So solid in gas, it is called as solid aerosol, and these are the example. Then next one, liquid is a dispersed phase and dispersion medium is a solid. So for that example is cheese, jellies, etc., and it is called as gel. The colloidal system is called as gel. Next one is liquid. Both dispersed medium and dispersed phase as well as the dispersion medium, if both are liquid, then it is called as emulsion. For example, milk. So milk, that is the example for emulsion colloidal system. Important. So what is the example for the emulsion colloidal system? Milk. So emulsion is nothing but both dispersed phase as well as the dispersion medium will be liquid. Next one is dispersed phase is liquid, dispersion medium is gas. So if the dispersed phase is liquid and the dispersion medium is gas, then it is called as aerosol. So for example, fog, mist, yes, water vapors will be there in the air, right? So mist, fog, all these are the example. Then if the dispersed phase is gas and if the dispersion medium is solid, then it is called as solid foam. For this example is foam rubber, Fume stone, nothing but the decorative stone what we keep. All that are example for the solid foam. So decorative, in some house they will keep, right, decorative stones. So that is known as fume stone. Next one, if the dispersed phase is gas and if the dispersion medium is liquid, then the type of colloid is called as foam. So for that example is shaving cream. So shaving cream is example for foam. So gas in gas do not form colloidal system because the mixture will become homogeneous. So colloids are nothing but it is a heterogeneous system. Next one, emulsion. So emulsion is nothing but the colloidal solution in which liquid is a dispersed phase as well as liquid is a dispersion medium. Gel, the colloidal solution in which liquid will be dispersed as a fine droplets in the solid medium. Next one is sol, that is nothing but the colloidal solution in which solid is dispersed as a fine particle in the liquid medium. So there is a note, aquazole or the hydrozoles are nothing but the colloidal solution in which dispersed particle will be in the liquid medium. So solid will be dispersed as a fine particle in the liquid medium. Benzozole is nothing but it is a colloidal solution in which solid is dispersed as a fine particle in benzene. So benzozole, benzene. Alcohol is nothing but the colloidal system in which solid is dispersed as a fine particle in the alcohol. So alcohol, benzozole and aquazole or hydrozole. So aquazole or hydro is nothing but water. Benzozole is nothing but dispersion medium will be benzene. Alcohol is nothing but dispersion medium will be alcohol. So based on the interaction between the dispersed phase and the dispersion medium, there are again two types. One is lyophilic sol. So lyophilic, philic means loving. So leo means liquid, so liquid loving, and one more is lyophobic sol. So lyophobic, phobic is nothing but hate, right? So liquid hating. So here in diagram you can see what is the difference between the solution, colloidal particle and the suspension. So solution particle diameter will be less than 1 nanometer. Suspension it will be greater than 1000 nanometer. Colloid means their particle diameter will be in between that of 1 to 1000 nanometer. So based on the types of particle in the dispersed phase, they are also classified into multi-molecular colloids. So multi-molecular, many molecule, right? So these are the colloids formed by the aggregation of large number of atoms or the smaller molecules of substance which are dissolved in the dispersion medium. So all the, for example in smoke, all the carbon particles, if they join together or if they aggregate, then you will get a multi-molecular colloids. For example, gold sol. So it contains particle of various size having several atoms. Sulfur sol. So it consists of the particle containing 1000 of S8 molecule. Next one is macromolecular colloids. So these are the colloids formed when macromolecules are dispersed in the suitable solvent. So they are quite stable and they resemble somewhat true solution in many aspects. So naturally occurring macromolecules are starch, proteins, all this. And polystyrene, synthetic rubber, all are the man-made macromolecules. So they are related to the polymers, large molecule. Then associated colloids. So associated colloids are nothing but these are the substance which At a lower concentration, they behave as a strong electrolyte, but they exhibit the colloidal behavior at the higher concentration due to the aggregation. The aggregated particles are called as micelles, and also they are known as associated colloids. Surface active agents like soap, synthetic detergents, all these are the example for the associated colloids. Next, there are some terms. One is Kraft temperature. So it is a temperature at which the formation of micelles takes place above the particular concentration, which is called as critical micelle concentration. Next one is about lyophilic and the lyophobic. So lyophilic, as I told you, lyo means liquid, philic means loving. So lyophilic is nothing but liquid loving. So these are the colloids in which the particles of the dispersed phase have a greater affinity with the dispersion medium. So loving, right? So there should be a affinity between the dispersed phase, the particles which are present in the dispersed phase, and the dispersion medium. So it is directly formed by mixing the dispersed phase and the dispersion medium. So direct by mixing dispersed phase or nothing but the particles and the dispersion medium, you can get the lyophilic colloids. And these are reversible salts, and these are quite stable and do not require any stabilizing agent. So for example, starch, rubber, etc. are the lyophilic colloids. Next one is lyophobic salt or lyophobic colloids. So lyophobic, phobic means hating. So lyophobic is nothing but these are the colloids in which particles of the dispersed phase have no affinity with the dispersion medium. So it cannot be prepared directly by mixing the dispersed phase and the dispersion media, but it requires some special method. And these are irreversible. See, since there is no affinity between the dispersion phase and dispersion medium, we use some special methods to prepare this type of salt, so they are not irreversible. And these are quite unstable and it requires the stabilizing agent. For example, metal salt, metal sulfide salt, all these are the example for the lyophobic